Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do a book review of the book All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. Again, I am doing my new equipment setup and I'm still getting used to it, so I apologize for any weird looks to the camera. I'm using the ring light that is attached to the equipment, so I actually have pretty decent lighting on this rainy day. I also apologize for any background noise. My dad is watching TV, so I was gonna try to film yesterday, but yesterday ended up being a busier day than I thought it was going to be. So this is a review for All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I picked this book up about, I would say, 5 years ago, and literally only because I was getting into thrillers, yes, but also on the back there is a character that has my name, Corinne. Different last name, but I was like, oh my god, I never see that ever. So I decided to pick it up and then didn't touch it until just a few weeks ago. And boy, am I glad I did. I recently started a new Instagram that I'm using just for posting pictures of books, and I recently posted a picture of All the Missing Girls, and I said 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, I think I found a new favorite book, which is 100% true. This book is about a woman in her late 20s named Nicolette Farrell, who is going back to her hometown to visit her father, who is getting Alzheimer's and dementia, and also figure out how they can sell the house that her father was previously living in. He now lives in a not retirement home, nursing home that is taking care of him, but she's going back over the summer to tie up some loose ends and visit him and see how everything is going. She recently got a very cryptic letter from her father saying, I saw that girl, which doesn't make any sense to her. 10 years ago, when she was 18 and living in Cooley Ridge, her friend Corinne Prescott went missing, and she knows that that girl is who her father is referring to, Corinne Prescott, and doesn't make any sense because Corinne's case was never solved. However, they all know that she is most likely dead after being missing for 10 years and not ever turning back up. There is also another woman that is missing currently, named Annalise, and I forget the last name, but Annalise is currently missing as well when she comes back to Cooley Ridge. The next bit I'm going to read the back because it's a little hard to explain. An astonishing debut thriller with a jaw-dropping twist, the story is told backward. It's been 10 years since Nicolette Farrell left Cooley Ridge. 10 years since she broke up with Tyler, the man she thought she'd marry. 10 years since her best friend Corinne disappeared, never to be heard from again. So that is the one criticism I have of the book, that it is told backwards. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's hard to kind of keep track of all the different things that have happened throughout the novel and what has happened already and what hasn't, because again, the story is told backwards. Finishing this book, I already want to reread it in the future, a few years down the line, so I think if I read it in a closer timeline, so I read this about over a month of time, so I think if I read it within like a week and a half, it might be easier to follow. Start out the story with Nicolette arriving in Cooley Ridge, but then you get day 6, day 8, day 9, day 12, and it's a countdown of a 2-week span of time not being in any order. So yes, that is part of the thriller, and I'm not saying it's a bad part of the story. It's just harder to keep track of what has happened and what hasn't already. That is really my only main criticism. I really liked the style of this book. I really liked the narrative voice. Megan Miranda did a really good job of grounding the main character, even though she was involved in things that wasn't necessarily good or moral, let's say. I don't want to give any spoilers. Really connected with Nicolette when it was kind of explained how Corinne, the woman that has been missing for 10 years, Corinne was kind of this mysterious person that was very in control of herself and very confident, and you're just attracted to her as a friend and want to be within her circle. And when you feel accepted by this person, it just is just an amazing feeling. And I definitely knew people like that throughout high school, whether they were intentionally doing that or not, where sometimes they wouldn't have your best interests in mind, but you loved having them as a friend because they were this confident, beautiful person, at least visually beautiful, this confident person that let you in, and they don't really let too many other people in. Looking back on my high school experience, I definitely did come in contact with a few personality types like that, so I definitely did understand her emotions behind Corinne Prescott's disappearance. I also really liked how she, the author, illustrated the dynamic between Nicolette and her brother Daniel, how she loved her brother and she would do anything for him, but at the same time, he really frustrated her. He never came out and just said what he was feeling. They were always dancing around a subject rather than talking it out, and it really frustrated her. And again, that is the kind of real emotion and real, I shouldn't say power dynamic, but real relationship dynamics that exist in real life and readers can really connect. I also just really like this cover of the dark tones and the Ferris wheel, which does play, if you read the book, does play a very important role in Nicolette's backstory, her whole friendship group backstory, to be quite honest. I'm already looking forward to rereading it. I did a thing where I went on Scribd and I listened to the audiobook as well as read the physical copy, because I also love how with audiobooks you can listen while you're washing dishes, while you're making your bed, whereas with the physical book you can't necessarily do that. So it was nice to be able to read it when I normally necessarily couldn't. And that way I finished it faster, but I already want to reread this book. One other slight criticism, I guess I could say, without giving spoilers, is the wish that, so when you're learning about Nicolette's friend group and how they're all involved in each other's lives, Jackson, one of the characters, is involved in the past a lot, but in the present he's not too involved. There are a few scenes with him. She does have a few conversations with him. However, he's not really pivotal in the modern day, as the things that are happening to him in the modern day come to light. And I kind of wish that they had tied that in a little bit more. It's not that he didn't play a role at all, but he just didn't play as significant as a role as I originally thought he would. When it all came to a conclusion, I liked the ending. I enjoyed it. I didn't expect it, to be sure. And again, I was trying to keep this spoiler free because with thrillers, so many things are complicated that it's hard to explain without spoiling everything or just reading passages out loud. But I highly recommend it, especially if you enjoy thrillers. This is Megan Miranda's first adult thriller. Previously, she had only written YA, and she has since All the Missing Girls, since this came out 5-6 years ago, she has written other adult novels as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this convinces you to pick up some of Megan Miranda's work. I know it's convinced me to read more of her books, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I made a new Instagram just for posting pictures of books, and I'm really enjoying getting that settled and done. What the fuck? Really didn't like that. Let's try again.